There are 99 operating plants in the United States today that represent about 2/3 of the non-emitting generation that we have in the United States today. The remainder is mostly hydro with a very small amount of wind and solar. So nuclear today plays an extraordinarily important part of our carbon reduction strategy. I think we were the first to start identifying the fact that there was a problem with the existing protocol where it actually prevented the use of nuclear for mitigating carbon. In talking to people in the U.S. government, I don't think there was a very large awareness of that at all. They really hadn't been paying much attention to it. But as Nuclear for Climate started getting active, it appears that all of the messages that we were putting on Twitter and on Facebook were actually getting people's attention. And so when I was at the IAEA General Conference in Vienna in September, talking to some of these people, they said, all right, we see all of this activity on social media. Tell us what it's about. So they were at this point saying, okay, we need to understand why is everybody talking about this topic? So we had a good conversation and started getting people in the U.S. government aware, at least, of what we perceived as being a potential problem. A few weeks ago, I had the privilege of being invited to what was billed as a nuclear summit in the Executive Office building next to the White House, where for the first time in my memory, the U.S. government representatives were very explicit with their message that nuclear is necessary in order to meet our climate goals, that the public needs to understand why nuclear is so important, and third, that new technology in the nuclear field is something that we need to be striving for. So it was not just a matter of keeping the existing technology operating, but we need to develop new technology. One of the things that they announced was that the Idaho National Laboratory, which has been spearheading nuclear research for a long time, was now going to be the gateway to provide government lab support for innovation that can take place in nuclear technology. So for people who are trying to come up with new ideas, whether it's fast reactors or small modular reactors or some of these other exotic cooling systems that people are proposing, GAIN, what they call GAIN, would be this gateway to allow entrepreneurs to use the U.S. national labs to be able to further the development of their concept. What is interesting is that we're starting to see entrepreneurs and venture capitalists saying, we are starting to recognize how important nuclear is for the future, and if that's the case, then we need to develop new technology. And so it's an interesting thing to see the same model that moved the internet forward and where we saw many startups funded by venture funds now are saying we need to develop nuclear technologies and move this forward. So some of the big names in the industry, you know, Bill Gates and Peter Thiel and other people who have made their fortunes in the internet are now saying it's time that we start doing the same kind of innovation in nuclear. So we think that's an exciting prospect.